Ryan Garcia stops Javier Fortuna,
Yeah.
6 rounds. There's talks about him fighting Gervonta Davis for later on this year. What's your thoughts on that?
I think him and Tank, they make for a great fight for sure, but I don't think he's ready for Tank. I mean, for a lot of reasons. Ryan Garcia, a lot of his opponents are too small, not able to really get to him too much. When we seen him fight, what was the kid, the southpaw that knocked him down?
Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell was a little bigger than them other guys. You know what I mean? He could handle a little more. Ryan still got rid of him. Great fight. No disrespect to Ryan. He did his thing. And also with this last fight, he did his thing. But Fortuna was just too small. But when we talking about Tank, we talking about a small guy who can handle what's being brought to him as far as 140 pounds. We already seen him up there. And not only handle it, he can give it out. I mean, I think that'd be dangerous for Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia's never seen nobody to punch like that with somebody that packs that kind of skill set as well. I think the skill set and the power definitely give him trouble. Speed will give him trouble, and the angles will give him trouble. He is working on some things though. I do see Joe Gooson working on him, keeping that right hand up and trying not to pull so much. But again, we saw that with Javier Fortuna. Tank Davis is nothing like Javier Fortuna. I mean, they might be around the same height, but that's about it. So, totally different fight.
Now, with Ryan, everybody sees the ability, speed, power.
Yeah.
He be whipping that left hook.
Yeah.
But it's the defensive flaws that are glaring.
Yeah.
Can you have those kind of flaws going up against a fighter like Tank that can close the show with just one shot?
I mean, it's going to be hard to get out of those habits because he do have them. The thing is, he can work on them though. Because like I said, I saw Joe Gooson definitely working on some things with him, trying to keep that right hand up and try not to pull so much. And if you do pull with your hands up. But I just think Tank will bring that out of him. Tank will bring that victim out. You know what I mean? That part where he trying to just defend himself. He trying to get the fuck up out of there. But Tank will also make it hard for him to hit Tank. You know what I mean? He won't be able to hit Tank as easy as he was hitting Fortuna. That lead hook, that slapping hook, that's for the guys that's going to stand in front of you. Tank know better to stand in front of him. He's a lot smarter than what people think. No matter what, though, it'll be a great fight. It will be a great fight because of the hype and because of what both fighters bring to the table. But I just don't think, in the long run, I don't think Ryan Garcia can handle it, to be honest. I don't think he can handle it, not just yet. Because he hasn't been in there with none of the top guys. None of the former top guys. And I mean, Javier Fortuna is a former top guy at 130, 135 maybe. You know what I'm saying? But I think he need Lomachenko before he fight Tank. That would be great. Fight Lomachenko. Lomachenko's getting older. He on his way out. Fight a guy like Lomachenko, then fight Tank. But to fight Tank right at the end of this year, I think it's a recipe for disaster, for sure.
Do you think that the reason why this fight is happening is because Ryan's looking for a way out, and by a way out, I mean cash out and go do other things? Because it seems a little early.
Well, that could be true, but I think it's just for the fact Ryan has a lot of hype around him. He has to fight somebody. Tank is probably the easiest one to make the match with. Or Devin, because Devin was there speaking on that fight too, so maybe Devin too. But Tank being with Mayweather, of course, attached to Heyman and them, I think that'd be the easiest fight for me because of the hype. I think that's the fight to be made just simply because of the hype. I don't think.
And by hype, you mean the money that's going to be involved?
Yeah, that's a big fight. That's a big fight, especially with him just Tank doing what he did to Rolly, and then him doing what he did to. See, the difference is in those fights though. Tank did that to a bigger 35-pounder. He did that to a 130-pounder. Ryan did that to a 130-pounder. That's the difference right there. So for those who believe in Ryan, I'm not mad because Ryan can fight. Ryan is in good shape. But Tank is just a different animal. Tank is a lot more dangerous than a Javier Fortuna. He's more confident than a Javier Fortuna.
Wait, real fast, want to show people this is how you know we in the trenches with it, man.
Already.
Random pit bull. Let's go. It's authentic, man. This is authentic.
Yeah, she'll bite the shit out of you.
Yeah. As far as the height goes, right? would Ryan be better suited trying to outbox Tank rather than doing what he normally does and try to bring the pressure, bring the heat? Like, he really doesn't have fill-out rounds. He comes out throwing hard shit.
I mean, because he's the bigger guy. He's always the bigger guy, and he has speed. But I think if he gonna fight Tank, to beat Tank, he just got to be on point. I think he got to be on point, but he got to let his hands go. And it has to be different variations of punches. It can't be the same crazy wild hook and then try to come in with the crazy right hand. He would have to mix some uppercuts in there. He would have to get ready to take a few shots, not take a few shots as far as letting Tank hit him, but I mean ball up, get tight, catch a few shots, and come back with some shots. Countering. His reflexes got to be at 150 that night. You know what I mean? It's just some adjustments he would have to make. And also his temperament. He can't get upset too fast. Can't get too hyped up. You know what I mean? He got to stay composed. I really thought Tank was going to lose his head a little bit with Rolly because Rolly was getting crazy. Rolly was losing his fucking mind. But that let me know Tank is a world-class fighter just because you got somebody coming at you that hard, that fast, and you can still keep your composure. That makes him a dangerous man in my book.
Rolly was throwing them little Caesar pieces at Tank.
Yeah, he was trying. Yeah, that shit was hot. He was trying to get Tank. You know what I mean? And that let me know that Tank can compose himself. So when I see something like that, my liking for the fighter goes up. You know what I mean? Ryan hasn't been up against that type of fire. These are all B class fighters. A guy like Javier Fortuna. Javier Fortuna, if you ask me, is not really interested in boxing no more. He's going to make some money and get the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? He's Javier Fortuna.
He's from the Dominican Republic?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, 100 grand to go far in DR.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? He go back home, he the man. And I'm pretty sure he is the man after this one. You know what I mean? Even after the loss. But he got the bag. He got a nice little bag.
How do you see that fight ending?
With Tank and Ryan?
Tank and Ryan. I
mean, Ryan be smart. They can go to decision, and it'd be a toss-up. But if Ryan go in there acting like Ryan, he getting out of there in 8, 9 rounds. He getting out of there. He just never been hit like that. I know it. He been put down, and anybody could. Like I said in the comments to somebody, getting knocked down is equivalent to getting dunked on in basketball. It happens. It's going to happen. Somebody going to knock you down. Somebody going to hurt you with a shot. How you recover, how you recoup from it, that's what makes you. Now, will Ryan Garcia get up? Yeah, he'll get up. But against a Tank, I don't know. Tank a different animal, man. And see, another thing is, people get carried away with these fights. They talk about these guys, but you got to pay attention to the matchup. Javier Fortuna in his 30s, 33 years old.
People just look at the record, hear the name.
They see the record, they hear the name. Oh, I heard of that guy. He was a champion. That's why if you pay attention, the commentators, they constantly say, "Oh, he was a former champion, former champion, former champion." They want you in your mind to believe this guy is ready, but really he on his way out. You know what I mean? At 33 years old, this guy right here is 22 years old.
Coming off of
a loss versus
Jojo Diaz.
Yeah.
Not the fight before that, but the fight before that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, you got to realize the matchups. You got to pay attention to when you're watching these fights. Don't just pay attention to what they're saying. Pay attention to the actual facts. This guy's smaller. He was champ at a smaller weight class. He's older. So Ryan did what he was supposed to do. Now, am I glad about that? Yeah. I mean, I'm glad Ryan didn't go 12 rounds with Javier Fortuna. He wasn't supposed to. But we talking about a prime Tank versus a prime Ryan. I think Tank too much for him. Too much man. You know what I mean?